What if humans survived in forests ruled by venomous snakes? The year is 7.0 million years ago, when our ancestors, the early Australopithecus, faced not only the struggle for food and shelter, but also a kingdom of silent, slithering rulers, serpents, whose fangs dripped with death. Imagine stepping into a world where every shadow hides a strike, where survival means reading the earth itself, listening to the whisper of leaves, and sensing danger before it strikes. How could fragile humans endure in forests, where venom itself decided life or death? The canopy is thick, turning daylight into a green twilight. A band of Australopithecus moves carefully through the undergrowth, their bodies, low eyes, scanning hands, grasping crude stone flakes sharpened against river rocks. The group is restless, hungry. The dry season has pushed them away from the open savanna and into the forest where roots, berries, and small prey promise survival, but also the threat of snakes that coil unseen among roots and branches. One female leads with confidence, clutching a bundle of large leaves folded into a pouch, carrying water from a nearby stream. On her shoulder clings a juvenile, its wide eyes darting at every sound. Behind her, two males test the ground ahead with sticks tapping leaf litter, watching for movement. The forest floor is alive. Insects buzz, lizards dart, and above them, the hiss of a serpent blends with the hum of cicadas. The first conflict arrives suddenly. A young male eager reaches into a hollow log for grubs. A flash of scales, a lightning strike of fangs. The snake strikes his forearm. He recoils with a screamless gasp, clutching his arm as the venom begins its cruel work. The group erupts in chaos, their fear palpable. But the elder female acts swiftly. She gathers leaves, crushing them between stones, pressing the bitter pulp against the wound. Others hold the young male, their gestures frantic, their faces painted with dread. The venom seeps through his body, his strength faltering, yet the primitive remedy slows its march, buying him precious time. The tribe huddles together, forming a circle of trembling bodies, the forest pressing in like a living predator. They cannot linger. The forest demands constant movement. They lift the injured male, supporting him between two strong hunters, and press deeper into the green labyrinth. Each step is a gamble, branches overhead sway, and vines resemble snakes poised to strike. Their journey is a ritual of vigilance, a rhythm of survival. As dusk falls, storm clouds gather. Thunder rolls like the growl of some colossal beast, and rain begins to lash the leaves. The second conflict builds. Driven by the storm, the tribe seeks refuge in a shallow cave. But inside a rival danger waits another group of Australopithecus already occupying the shelter. The two bands lock eyes, their bodies tense, fists gripping stone and bone tools. The storm rages outside, snakes stirred into motion by the downpour, while inside the air grows thick with the threat of violence. Survival hangs by a thread balanced between venom in the forest and conflict within the cave. The storm intensifies, rain hammering the canopy, water pouring in rivulets down the rock walls of the cave. Lightning illuminates the scene in blinding bursts. Two tribes of Australopithecus, mirrored in desperation, their shadows dancing like warriors painted by fire. Each clan grips sharpened stones and sticks hardened by fire, their bodies taut, their eyes flicking between the storm behind and the humans before them. No words are spoken, only guttural breaths, the silent question of who will yield. A flash of thunder startles the young. Infants cling tighter to their mother's fur, their whimpers swallowed by the storm. A snake, disturbed by the vibration of thunder, slithers across the cave entrance, its scales gleaming with rainwater. Both groups stiffen their fear, redirected toward the true enemy outside. For a heartbeat, they are united in silence, watching as the serpent coils and disappears into the undergrowth. The tension inside does not break, it sharpens. One elder male of the rival band steps forward, his scarred face marked by past survival. He slams his stone against the cave wall, a warning acclaim. Our band's leader, broad-shouldered and fierce, answers with a strike of his own. Stone sparks flying, casting fleeting light. It is a ritual of dominance, a test of resolve. The younger hunters bristle, ready to clash. But then the injured male from earlier groans, collapsing, the venom's toll returning. His labored breathing echoes in the cave, a reminder that time is their truest enemy. The storm rages on, flooding the forest floor. Snakes are driven from their burrows, writhing through waterlogged roots, striking at anything that moves. Outside, survival has become impossible. Inside, survival demands compromise. Slowly, the rival elder lowers his weapon. His clan pulls back, yielding one side of the cave. It is not trust, but necessity. For now, two enemies are bound by rain and venom, sheltering under the same stone roof. Night comes. The cave becomes a sanctuary of uneasy alliance. Fire sparks to life, fed by dry bark carried from earlier in the day. The flames cast warmth, pushing back the wet chill. Both groups sit in wary circles, divided yet bound by flickering light. One mother chews roots to soften them, feeding her child. Another grinds herbs into a paste, applying it to the wounded male's swollen arm. His breath steadies, though his eyes remain glazed. Hope is fragile but alive. Then the climax strikes. From the shadows at the cave's edge, a massive serpent emerges, an apex predator of this forgotten forest. Its body thick as a man's chest, its head triangular fangs glistening in the firelight. The snake has been driven by storm and hunger, seeking warmth. The rival tribes freeze, united in primal terror. The fire crackles, the serpent sways, tasting the air with its forked tongue. With a sudden strike, it lunges toward the nearest child. Chaos erupts. Mothers clutch their young hunters, leap with spears of wood and stone. The rival bands, once enemies, now fight shoulder to shoulder. Stones crash down on scales, sticks stab, shrieks echo in the storm. The battle is desperate, primal life against venom, unity against death. The cave becomes a battlefield. The giant serpent thrashes violently, its coils lashing against stone walls, sending sparks from the fire scattering into the dark. Hunters from both clans strike together their crude weapons, finding purchase in the scales. One male is knocked aside, his body slamming into the cave wall, but another leaps atop the serpent's back, driving a sharpened stone into its neck. The hiss of the beast fills the cave like thunder, its venomous jaws snapping wildly, striking stone, missing flesh by inches. The rival elder, once a threat, now becomes the spearhead of unity. With a roar, he seizes a burning branch from the fire and thrusts it at the serpent's open mouth. Flames lick its head, forcing it back. The tribes rally, raining down blows in a storm of fury and desperation. At last, with one final strike from a sharpened club, the serpent collapses its coils, unwinding its body, twitching until it lies still in the firelight. Silence follows, broken only by the ragged breaths of the living. The two clans stand together, staring at the slain predator. For a moment, they are no longer rivals, but survivors bound by shared blood and fire. Mothers clutch their children close, their eyes shimmering with tears of relief. The wounded male lies pale but alive, breathing steadily, his body saved by both medicine and time. As dawn breaks, the storm subsides, leaving the forest steaming fresh and dangerous still. Yet, in the cave, laughter erupts soft at first, then growing echoing against stone. Children play with the serpent's shed scales, while hunters carve its body, turning venomous flesh into sustenance. The great predator has become a feast, its death transformed into survival. Two tribes share the meal, their hands passing portions across the fire, the ancient act of eating together binding them in fragile alliance. When the sun pierces the canopy, painting the cave mouth in gold, the tribes rise. They do not part as enemies, but as kin of a single night's war. Some gesture toward the open savanna, others toward the forest depths. Migration is inevitable. The earth demands movement, and survival means change. They step into the steaming morning air, their footprints mingling their shadows, long against the wet earth. Behind them lies the carcass of the serpent, a silent monument to their struggle. Ahead lies the endless trial of existence. Yet for this fleeting moment in the dawn of humanity, venom, storm, and rivalry have given birth to unity. This was life 7.0 million years ago, where every breath was borrowed, every victory fragile, and every survival etched into legend.